Yes, I agree. Now that you mentioned fraternities, right? This is a high idea that I had, and I recently posted this on my Instagram story the other day, and I received a lot of different points of views off of this. I feel like I can only speak. I pledged here at Virginia State, so I can only speak for like what I see here and like what I see at other local chapters or whatever, and what I've just seen in my experience being in Greek life. But my thoughts is that I feel like the foundation and the principles of a lot of these Greek life, the Divine Nine organizations, is essentially to really bring change to our communities, right, and for our people. And I feel like a part of the process of being online, right, that we should be learning Black history, but like African history, Black history, where people are learning like value of self, right? Where people are seeing like causes that, like, I feel like every initiate or person who's trying to become a member should receive a cause that they're fighting, coming out, like where it's not like all right, you pledge and then now you're just a part of a chapter and then you're doing like garbage cleanups and stuff like that, right? Like there should be like more intentionality there, because we have access to all these young people who have the energy, have the strength, have the mindset and the willpower to actually create this change, right? And when we look at people like Fred Hampton, who was like 21 years old, who was creating change, like I feel like sometimes like we take what we have for granted, but it's because the material is not there sometimes. Right? Who would teach them that? I think that it should be a part of like the curriculum of when like you join, right? You know how when you're joining, you get like your, I don't know how like other orgs do it, but you get like, you know, your study guide or whatever, and you're learning like, learning information about the org, but like you should be at a probate spitting like Black history facts. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause at the end of the day, like we're the foundation of all our ancestors who came before us, right?
But what if the persons who are leading the chapters also don't know said Black history?
But that's when the generational thing comes in, right? Because if, let's say my line was to start that, right? And that was what we did. And then it becomes a cycle every time. Right. You got what I'm saying? Same thing, like same way everything else changes, it becomes a cycle. Right. But I think that it would definitely have to be like something that is instilled like nationally, right? Where they say like this is a part of like same way we got to take a test to join, like this is on the test.
And I think I agree with you 125% wholeheartedly, where I think I hear some individuals, like as you say, that I could hear other people saying, well, we are teaching Black history because we're teaching the history and the essentials of our founders who were Black, and that is a part of Black history, so we can't negate that, which I wholeheartedly agree with and I also understand. So it goes also to show that two things can be true. By a person learning the history of the organization, these are Black Greek organizations, so you're learning about the trials and tribulations of your founders and the things in which they had to go through. There also can be an emphasis on an educational aspect of our people and what collectively we've had to go through and or where we're going. But I think just now taking a step back, it's important for us to have grace with each other. Because like I try to live by this quote, be patient with people, but impatient with progress. Because we have to be patient with people because people are going to come along when they come along. But we have to be impatient with progress because we got to keep going, like no matter what. So it's not for everyone to be able to digest that kind of information in the immediate, because not everybody can handle it.
Very true.
And then also there's still a lot of patience that we need with some of the elders because they too don't know certain things.
Very true.
The progress is something that we have to consistently push for, but that doesn't mean that it's impossible in that regard.
No, I agree. What's good, y'all? Are y'all having a hard time starting conversations in large rooms? Do you need to find more effective ways to draw attention to yourself without wearing a fancy outfit? I figured out a hack. You need some Financial Revolution merch. Everything is a staple piece that represents Black wealth. You are what you wear, so make sure you join the rest of the billionaires and get some FR merch. We have hoodies, sweatsuits, t-shirts, and much more. Make sure you visit www.financialrevolutionn.com and use code podcast for a special 10% off. Again, go to www.financialrevolutionn.com and use code podcast for a special 10% off. Let's get it, y'all. I do hear you and I do truly agree with you, but I also think like, well, let me